So Deborah, what sort of conversations have you been having with attendees here at the Tanker Conference when it comes to ballast water and making the right choices?
Well, I've had a variety of discussions, really. Not as much ballast water, but more what we can provide with just of it. You always get the same old question with ballast water. Really, people still have to do things. And two, there really aren't ship owners that aren't in compliance yet. So you kind of go over that little history of that there's still time for people to do things. But we kind of get into more what else we do besides just ballast water and the environmental information that we provide people and really help them being in compliance with a variety of ship issues that are important to people that are attending the conference. So.
And to your mind, what should the tanker operator of today be prioritizing to be compliant and future-proofed next year, maybe for the next 5 years?
So I think that in some ways that to be compliant, it's almost a simple thing that people look too detailed. Like, oh, I have the equipment on board, I'm okay. And that can go for a variety of things. But we find that from some of the companies we've supported, like even through their SIRE inspections that pop up, that really we're failing at paperwork. And that the simple things like a ballast water management plan, having the right record book on board, those are things that people don't really keep in mind. But if you look at what like the Coast Guard said recently, most of their deficiencies are failures in paperwork. And really, if you look at it, how even IMO is looking at it for compliance for the Ballast Water Management Convention, through the four steps for compliance inspections, one of the early ones is paperwork. And do you have that all? And if you can get the paperwork right, then you're going to have a much easier way. But if you don't get the paperwork right, you're getting more and more questions and inspections that really are going to bring up more issues that a crew might not be able to deal with as much as a really inoperable system problems they're having operating it. So I think that's with a lot of the things I see, not just ballast water, is that to stay at the basics and make sure you have the beginning, the primary requirements in place. It'll help you go forward and your crew really understand what's going forward for the future.
But we shouldn't minimize the administrative burden, which just seems to be multiplying and excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. But it's still, we do a process where we'll inspect ship owners' ballast water management plans for free. And we found that over 50% of them are not in compliance with what's needed. Just some really basic, simple things. And we've applied that to other things, not just ballast water. And again, the paperwork administrative part is really important to get through and getting that understanding.
On the regulatory front, do you think the next MEPC is going to see any significant breakthroughs?
No, it's not enough time. I mean, really, that's where I strive. It's a shame that it was another virtual meeting. I think it was brought up yesterday, 3 hours a day for a couple of days. You're not getting through at all the meat. You're checking off little simple boxes. But it really needs in-person meetings to really discuss the issues and come to, agreement on what's best to go forward. But I hope that some small things will get done a little, that we can get a start for next year moving into a more productive year. But again, next year is 2022. Most people have to be fully in compliance with things by 2024, so it's a really short time period for having everybody understand what's required. So.
And finally, Deborah, we're here in Greece at the Tanker Shipping and Trade Conference Awards and Exhibition. How would you characterize your experience?
I think this was excellent. It was really very good event to get to see people face to face, talk about things. I know people have learned to like some of the virtual meetings and things, but you really don't get into the details or just understanding what somebody's problem might be when you're trying to interface through a computer. So I really appreciate all that Riviera Maritime has done to get this event going, and I think everybody that's here has really enjoyed it.
Deborah, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.